Hello everybody and welcome to another puzzle challenge video from chessuniversity.com. This is Ryan Murphy and I'm presenting today the solution to yesterday's puzzle first, and then of course the last and allegedly hardest puzzle of the week for advanced players after we go through the solution to yesterday's puzzle. So as I mentioned in the previous video, this is a game played between Shankland and Wheeler on chess.com. It was a rapid game, and here it was black to play and find the best continuation. And there's two basic ways of going about the same idea, but black's going to win a pawn through a series of clearance ideas and removal of the defender. So it doesn't particularly matter which move order you pick as long as you see the concept. But in the game, the move order was bishop takes f3. Very forcing because it takes a piece and attacks a rook. Queen takes f3 is practically forced. And now simply taking on d3, which unleashes the battery on this diagonal towards the h2 pawn. White recaptures on d3, and then bishop takes h2, grabs a pawn, the king will move, and then the bishop will drop back, which is indeed what happened in the game. Black was better, but eventually it ended in a draw. So if you saw that, congratulations, good job. Excellent puzzle solving skills, and with that out of the way, we can now proceed to the new puzzle for today. Alright, so this is another Shankland game. This one's really cool. Here it's black to play and win material, and also just to achieve a very good position in all possible variations. And this was also played from the same chess.com event. This one was played against an international master. So yeah, black to play and win. If you solve it, check out the link in the video description on YouTube, which will send you to the Chess University site. If you post your comment there with your solution and you get it right, you can get credit on your account. So that's pretty cool. All right, but let's see how we actually developed this position up to this point. So it began as a Sicilian accelerated dragon. That's this move. Normal dragon stuff would be knight f6, knight c3, and then d6. But with the accelerated dragon, black is looking to forego the move d6 in some cases in order to be able to play d5 in one move later, which will accelerate counterplay in the center. The difference is that by not forcing, the key theoretical difference is by not forcing white to defend this pawn with knight c3. After g6, white has the additional option, which is considered to be the best option, of playing c4, which is the so-called Maroczy bind. And the knight's going to develop behind the pawn. White will have excellent grip on the d5 square, which makes it very difficult for black to play d5. So this is what most grandmasters and strong players do against this line. So d6, knight c3, trade, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop g7, queen d2. It's actually not necessary to play queen d2 straight away, because as long as the bishop is not protected on g7, there's not actually a threat to move the knight with a dangerous discovery. So usually I think here white prefers to develop the light square bishop or play a move like f3 to solidify the e4 square, and then moves the queen, but I think moving the queen's fine too. It's all going to transpose. Anyway, queen d2, bishop e6, putting a little bit of pressure on c4, and now bishop d3, which is actually a mistake. In this position, rook c1 is playable, f3 is playable, bishop e2 is playable. There's a lot of moves that are reasonable here. f3 is probably one of the more solid moves. Rook c1 also is very solid, because it sort of indirectly guards the pawn and the knight. And in some cases that's actually relevant, because later black's going to go rook c8. And after black castles, there's sometimes tactics where this knight on c3 is hanging. Like if white ever goes b3 to support the c4 pawn, they've got to worry about b5 related tricks, which is not so much the case when the rook's on c1. When the rook's in the corner, it's often sort of hanging to the bishop. So, okay. Anyway, bishop d3 was played, and now h6 chasing away the dark squared bishop. Bishop f4, g5, continuing the same idea. And now bishop g3, rook to c8, as I kind of highlighted a moment ago. And here, this is actually like the real big mistake. Like here black's already doing very well. They're quite comfortable, because there's just tremendous pressure against the c4 pawn. And it's not that easy to defend it, because instead of playing rook c1 earlier to indirectly defend the pawn, they played bishop d3, which doesn't actually defend the pawn at all. Like the bishop does the same job on f1 as it does on d3 with respect to protecting this pawn. So it doesn't actually help white guard their two slightly vulnerable pawns. So yeah, here no matter what white does, they're kind of in trouble because the pawn is hanging. For example, if b3, I think already moves like b5 and d5 are pretty strong. Let's say b5 because this is like the typical way to do it. So if pawn takes, you have this move knight takes e4, and this is what I was talking about earlier. You gotta watch out for the long diagonal. And after b5, if knight takes, it's the same thing. Attacking the queen, attacking the rook. Black wins material. So these are common tricks to know in this setup. Anyway, after rook c8, white decided to try to protect the c4 pawn by playing knight d5 and blocking the bishop, so the bishop cannot see the c4 pawn. However, white missed something here, and now it's black to play and achieve a really, really good position. Basically, black's, I guess, borderline winning here. Although with best play, maybe white can find a way to hold on. So if you see the correct answer here, like I said, make sure you head on over, check out the official link, post your comment there. We'd love to see more people try to solve these, make it more of a regular thing. And yeah, that's it for this week. That's our sort of more difficult puzzle. The solution will be out tomorrow, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.